I think we should be good because I can control all of them
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
from the destination, so we're all good. So yeah,
Looks like we're good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me actually. I'll keep a window open just so that way I know
I'm gonna. Can I? Oh, you know
how
what I'll do?
everything
I'll pop
looks.
out the chat on my.
Bear with us,
Tapioca
everyone. We're
pudding.
figuring this. We're doing some new stuff here.
This is the
this
first
time.
time we've
Hold
done
on, I
this.
gotta go
Yeah.
empty my diaper.
To them, it looks like we did last time, but like for this is
For us, it's a different
yeah,
undertaking.
it's a very different setup.
Yeah, so everybody knows we are all streaming to our significant YouTubes
Yes.
simultaneously. So there are multiple chats going on at once. I wish we knew how to make them all go to each of ours, but
So
Yeah,
what
there's
it's
some-
looking like
Some
is
kinks, but
yeah. So
follow everybody on the stream. So
Yes.
I will post everybody's. You want to look for Rockland Graves and Splattercast, and then I'm Beyond the Void.
yeah, so it looks like
there's this
on
strange
our.
man.
Oh well, no, hold on. You have Gremlin Ryo in yours, Alex.
Is he?
So yeah,
He's in
and-
mine too.
yeah. So I think it's just there's might be a slight delay in the YouTube live stream, but for StreamYard we can see everything.
Yeah,
As
yeah. Like we can see all the chat at once, so that's like.
That's
Well,
that's
I
the
meant
important part.
on our significant channels.
Yeah, no, I know. Like that, I don't know, but
I just went through and pulled up everybody's, and I see a nice crossover
cool.
for them. So yeah,
Welcome,
the only-
guys.
Hey guys, look at this drawing I did today.
That's cute.
old Michael.
Thank you.
Is that from Halloween Ends? You son of a! I'm just kidding.
We're doing pretty good. We're doing
We're
good.
starting
How
right away
dare
with that.
you.
How are you doing?
Right away.
Right off the bat, Evan?
Right off the bat, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. Luke's already gonna quit. He missed
He's
the first
seething.
one.
I can
He's already
see
gonna
it.
get-
There we go.
He's already gone
2
back out
minutes
on
can
in,
us.
see the
already
anger.
Halloween ends. Damn it.
Hey, I didn't mention it. Wasn't me this time.
Yeah, okay, sure, Evan. Whatever.
I didn't fucking mention it. That's a drawing from Halloween 2018.
That's what it
You
is.
incited
He doesn't have
panic.
the burns or the rot, so
Yeah,
I can
It's a
attest
promo
to-
photo from Halloween 2018. I know it's a shit drawing and you can't tell, but that's what it's from.
No, I
Right.
knew exactly what that was. I have cut that photo out for thumbnails so many times.
Oh yeah,
and so has
that's
Luke.
true. I guess if you've
Yeah.
done like graphic design for Halloween videos, you're probably quite familiar with that image.
We've done it.
Dude,
We've
Evan's
done it.
triggered right.
I'm fine.
They want to see it again, Evan. So you have to do
Christ
it.
almighty.
Give the
Yeah,
people
make,
what they
make him
want.
big on the screen so he can show it.
Oh, it's okay. So I don't draw. Just to clarify, I was bored at work and pulled up the image
I
and
like
just
it.
gave it my best shot.
He's cute. I like
That's
the
Corey.
addition of the tree branches in the
Did you
background.
say it's Corey?
That's Corey beating the shit out of Michael Myers.
That's my next drawing. I'm gonna draw that the thing in the sewer, that long one shot when Corey just.
Gremlin
Yeah.
Ryo
Bullies
says he
him.
likes it.
That's my. Oh, thanks, Gremlin.
Sad Michael.
Sad Michael. Yeah. In ends, yeah, he was sad.
He was very sad. He wasn't killing.
Very sad.
Didn't get
That
enough
was his
killings.
last one.
He only killed 3 people.
Yeah, that's it. They're done with those movies for sure.
Yeah.
Never bringing those ones back. I say good riddance, honestly.
No more Halloween movies. I'm done.
Not at all. All right, so I'm just queuing everything up here for us, just making sure we're almost around the
fine.
corner here,
I'm
boys.
trying not to say anything. I'm just trying to keep quiet. I think it's
I know.
funny though.
Luke is like focusing over there. I have no clue what he's doing.
Oh, he's
Nothing.
done.
Leave me alone.
He's doing a recipe
He's still trying to figure out how to get
for
Texas
lemon
Chainsaw.
meringue.
We were struggling with that earlier. I had to.
I'm
We
still
were.
trying to log into Game Pass now.
I know
got
it's.
it.
So
Trying
you
to
got
log into Game Pass. This is a good time to do that.
you got
Should we
that.
tell them what we're doing today, guys?
Did that give you the issue that you were having earlier?
Oh, I got it all
When you got
fixed.
the new one. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, did
when
you get it fixed through the original account, or did you have to do the whole new thing?
No, I did. Yeah, I just went to my original one.
Okay. Nice. Well,
Finished
Yeah.
up there.
I don't know
I
if you
have-
guys have focused on.
I've seen it silhouetted.
I don't know if you. Oh yeah, I'll keep going. Here we'll do that. But anyone of y'all watch the show 30 Coins on Max? I have
30
not.
coins.
They
No.
had that as an option for us at Fantastic Fest, but we didn't check it out.
See, Max is not in Canada. So
No.
Shit. You got NordVPN, my friend?
I do, and I could do it. It's just like, going through that whole
Look, you're not supposed to use your fucking Dylan. Jeez. This is brought to you by NordVPN.
Oh, I don't
Yes.
have a NordVPN. That's
Yeah, I don't
getting-
use Nord.
That was
I
free.
know, I'm teasing.
That was free.
I
They got a
coded
free
my
deal.
own.
Just so you guys know, it's produced and I think written by Alex de la Iglesias, who did the Last Circus and the Beast. I can't remember what it's called. Fuck. He's a Spanish director.
Cool.
Gotcha. Yeah, they've been killing it recently.
Yeah, that dude. The first episode of 30 Coins is amazing.
Is it an anthology?
Oh, it's kind of. It's like
Maybe I'll have to whip out
X-Files.
NordVPN.
Yeah.
We're gonna
God
get
damn, maybe I should get NordVPN. That reminds me.
I think they're having a sale right now.
Nord,
guys
you
played
better
on
fucking hit us up after
Xbox.
this. That's
Is
all I'm
that the Evil
saying.
Dead game? We might have to play the Evil Dead game at some point. That's not on Game Pass, though, is it?
I don't have it. No.
I have it.
Yeah, I don't have it. Well, actually, no. I think I did get. I got it when it. Maybe I.
I got it on Epic Game Store. You can get it. You can get a cheap key online.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be fine.
This stream is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh
I
god
think
damn it! Already?
If we talk about it enough, I think that it'll.
All four of us are going to get emails in the next half hour.
Right. Paul Giamatti is in it too. Ooh, nice. He's having a good year. I need to see his movie. I know we're supposed to be talking horror movies, but I want to see The Holdovers. I don't know if you
Oh, the
guys are-
holdovers. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Mhm. Yeah, I got to see that one. I hear many good things.
Hmm.
I don't know. And then
I just watched all the trailers, by the way,
Oh,
oh,
good.
hell yeah.
because I realized that I hadn't seen a single one that we were planning on talking
Well,
about.
perfect. Because yeah, I think now is the best time.
Do you want to take the helm there?
I
Dylan,
will. So
since you're
I'm gonna
good at
get
this.
pop us up here,
Hmm.
and
The planner.
yeah, and I might be a little slower, just so everybody knows, because I'm still working out the king. I've never had this many people. No, yeah, we've never had this many people on a stream before,
Oh,
and
you're
also doing all this new stuff.
We're learning.
We
Well,
are
Dylan's learning. We're just sitting here doing nothing.
fine. Growing.
What do you guys want to start with? I didn't really have one in mind. I think we could. I'm just gonna kind of play them. I'm probably not gonna do sound or either just low sound.
Can we save long legs for last?
Yes, we can do that one.
Okay.
How about then? Let's start with the one that we'll do. Late night with the devil, because that one's got
Luke,
two.
Gremlin's worried about you. Are you okay?
I am the farthest thing from okay. No, I'm okay. I'm all good. I'm getting
He's
everything
just
set
touching
up.
up his lemon meringue recipe. He's good.
That's what it is. No, it's a banana chocolate chip recipe that I got going on. Banana
You send me
bread.
It's a
that.
new one.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, man.
I'll post pictures in the chat.
That'd be
Yes.
great.
Sounds like a euphemism or something. Like
Yeah.
Hey, you,
Not
you
really.
take
You
you
wanna
take
see
it
my
for
lemon
what it
meringue?
is.
All right.
Okay, now I got that up. Let's do some sharing.
Oh, if anyone from my channel is watching right now, thanks for 2,500 subs. We hit that today.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
congratulations! That's
Thank
big
you,
numbers,
lads.
bro.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, Evan. Just so you know, I was your 1,000th subscriber.
Are you-
I
were
already
you
got to
really?
say that, yeah,
Dude. Hell yeah. Thank you.
I'm taking it.
I was
away.
your 2,500.
There you go, getting
Were
some
you?
celebrations.
Oh, look at
in
that!
there.
Look at him trying to one up me.
I'm just saying that's a bigger number.
Well, okay. When I
I've
get
never-
to, if I get to 3,000, one of you can resub, like unsubscribe, and then wait for it to get to
Yeah.
2,999.
Everybody unsubscribe from Rockland Graves.
and then
real quick.
resubscribe.
My
Yeah.
wife actually did that. She subscribed to us when we first started, and then when we hit like I think it was like 50 subs, she subbed on it. So that because I
Nice.
told her I was like, yeah, we're at like because that was back when it was like, oh man, we're at like 49 subs. We're about to get
Isn't
to
it? Yeah,
50.
it's
It's like,
exciting.
oh my god, when you're just like really starting things up, and then there it is. But this is
Very
a
exciting.
special request here from Alex too.
Yeah.
Again, we've already
A lot of
watched
people miss
these
this
guys,
one.
so we're just gonna kind of play them as background noise here. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is a lot of fun. I think this whole movie here. I know Luke and I have had this on our radar for. When did we do? We did
Too
like
long.
Sunday Scaries. Like that was like the first time anybody had heard anything about it was when
Yeah,
we read that Bloody Disgusting article. So like it's been about a year that this one has been kind of in the works for us. And then I know when Alex got us hooked up with the Toronto After Dark Film Fest, I know the three of us were chatting back and forth like, hey, do you think that we're going to get a chance to see this? Do you think that we're going to
I
let us do it?
know.
It was tempting, man. It was tempting.
Everybody wanted to see it, and nobody was able to remotely. It was the only. It was only in audience members that got to see it, and everybody was fighting over the seats for that. So.
Yeah, no, it was in apparently for good reason, because I mean it looks awesome. I'll run that back one more time, but it looks great. It looks fantastic, and I think like this aesthetic too. The fact that they're kind of committing to this kind of it's like it's not really
70s?
like found footage, but it's like lost footage of like an old '70s TV show. So it's like I love that. I think that's
I
super
love
cool.
like nostalgic Halloween stuff too. Like as
Yeah.
soon as that started, I was like, it feels like not that I was alive when they were playing, but like horror hosts from the early days of when that was
Right.
first starting.
Mhm.
Anytime you get that kind of aesthetic, I get drawn in really quickly. Like this, it looked really cool. I was also glad that the trailer didn't like give away the whole
CJM
movie.
says
It was
looking
quite.
forward to seeing this movie.
See, now I have some thoughts on this because one of the things I noticed in this particular the alternative trailer, the TV show fake trailer sort of thingy,
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of Panos Cosmatos Mandy stuff with the like cheddar goblin stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You bring
Tonally,
that up. Silhouette says it's very Steve Brule. So if you guys are familiar with Adult Swim, that is
Oh.
very much that style.
It's true.
I think I know what you're talking about. What did he do?
That's the John C. Riley, where he's got the
Oh.
glasses and the curly hair. He's just like, "Woof, woof."
Gotcha.
There we are.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like I think some people might have weird expectations with this, and I think that it's gonna ride the line of the sort of 80s kind of schlocky,
Mhm.
but then get really serious really quick. So, but it's all going to be done through that sort of television lens to give it that sort of aesthetic. I think I don't know for sure because nobody's really said. A lot of people have kept like really quiet about it. I think because they'd probably get sued. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be gonna be that weird aesthetic, and I hope people like it because I know some people get weirded out. Like I don't know if you guys saw the new anthology from VHS.
I did not get to see 85. I
So-
tried to get that. I tried to get a screener for that a bunch, and then by the time it hit, we were so deep into like getting.
You need to watch
Splatter
it.
Started. It was.
A
What was
lot of
the one
people
with-
have feelings about it, so that's why I say what I'm saying. Like I thought people would have liked it more than they did.
Mhm.
Which
So,
was the one with the funeral home? Is that the one before the most recent one?
that was the that was the
Because that was
third
the
of
last
new,
one I saw.
the first of the three that we just got. I
Okay, that was the
think.
first. That was the last one I saw.
Or no, it was the second. It was the 95 or whatever it was. Or
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Silhouetted says, I love the public access or in front of a live studio audience aesthetic. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to set this thing apart is considering it's different than found footage. It's kind of like something Luke and I have been kind of working on in the background is almost like I call it assembly of evidence, to where it's not necessarily like a project that's like put together like a documentary or anything, but I like that people are starting to find different ways to tackle found footage rather than just doing the standard. Oh, we found a videotape, or we found an SD card in the middle of the woods, and this is what we're getting. You know.
Were you inspired by Lake Mungo?
Oh yeah, very much. Lake Mungo, Skinnamarink. It's going to be in there. It's like lost tapes that fell down a memory hole. Yep.
Yeah, I
No,
love that stuff.
definitely. Yeah, this is definitely one that I know we're all kind of looking forward to here. I think like this more so than I want to say like for like the first half of the year here, this is probably my most anticipated. I think if we want to say quarter one horror, because this is coming out like in March, I think, right? So and I can't really think of anything else that's like kind of blowing my mind. The rest of the stuff is not really hitting until like July, and then of course in October and then December we have Nosferatu.
October and December are the two big ones.
Yeah, I mean we have Terrifier 3 and then Nosferatu, of course.
Yeah.
So let me see here.
what's
Not
his name?
seen.
Dashmalian.
Oh, are we really gonna
You
do it?
said
There
that
it
you were on top of this.
You
I don't
said
know
that
if
you
that's
had
right.
this, Alex.
Dashmalian?
That's how I pronounce it. I think it's
Dishmalian.
Dashmalian.
David Deschmalton.
It's like a
Dishmalian.
David D. Forgot his last name. No, I feel you, dude. That's the same thing we're on right now. So yeah,
yeah. See, like if you look at some of the video here, like it's got like those elements of like the VHS 1985 in it, like that feel. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Yeah.
and I hope people enjoy it more than they did with that movie because I don't know. I think people have too many high expectations with anthologies these days. Nothing will ever
It's
be
true.
like Creep Show ever again.
and that's
Or
funny
Trick
that
or
you bring
Treat,
up
too,
Creep
like-
Show, because like that feels very Creep Show. That
Right.
that face right there, that feels very much like something.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at the teeth. Look
I
at
mean, I'll watch any new anthology because I just watched All Hallows Eve 2, so I need something
Need
to
a
save me.
refresh.
Yeah. Hey,
Dude has
Joe.
so much range and personality. No, absolutely. David Dismalton is one of those people that like anything the guy is in, I am extremely blown away by his performance. I mean, he was so much of a standout that even back when the first thing I saw him in was The Dark Knight, but he even stood out there. I mean,
yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's like you're never gonna forget this guy.
He
for
just
sure.
always shows up, and I never I'm always surprised when he's there.
He's a James Gunn guy.
Yeah.
He's he was in Belko.
That's right.
Belko
I
Experiment.
actually that's one that I need to go back and watch. I never did see that one.
Remember
'Cause
he
that was right
crust put
around
his
the
name's head
time.
in. He was like,
That was right around the time of what was that fucking movie? The other one that he put his name on, Brightburn.
Mm.
They were like a month or so apart, I believe. And then Ryo says, "I'm excited for the new Godzilla movie. Fun fact: went to Walmart, saw the new toys for the movie, and the new
Oh my
trailer
God.
comes out Wednesday."
Kids are
Sweet.
so fucking spoiled these days. They have no idea.
They're
Kid-
getting toys for movies that aren't even out yet.
Dude, the
kids-
Ghostbusters fucking popcorn bucket at AMC looks amazing. I just want one. I just
Dude,
want one.
I have in the last like 2 years I've noticed there's been a huge uptick in the quality of like the toys that they're getting at movie theaters.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
nobody was going for a while, so they're
I
like,
know,
we gotta
and
do
they
something.
They gotta make the money somehow. Joe popping in here saying what's up to everybody. Let's see. I'm gonna catch up because people are dropping in quick.
Yes, sir.
Creep Show, an all-time classic. Yes, absolutely agree.
Yep, I heard that CGM.
Less like Creep Show 3, the better. Yeah, I actually have the Blu-ray for that. When
Nice.
Scream Factory did their re-release, they only released 1,500 copies. So I grabbed one. I have it sealed. I don't think I'm ever gonna open it.
Yeah, you don't need to
because,
watch it.
No, I don't want to watch
So-
it. I just want to own it and then maybe resell it one day.
Yeah.
Glad I caught the stream. Nice. Thanks for showing up, Joey. Appreciate
Dude, I'm so old. I remember fucking Gremlins Happy Meals stuff. Like, I think it was Burger King. I don't
You
even remember.
decrepit fuck.
I know.
I wish that they had Gremlin shit and Happy Meals nowadays. That'd be amazing.
How-
I'm kind of excited for the new Ghostbusters.
Nuclear
Are any of you
bomb.
guys?
I liked Afterlife. I thought that it was, it was about on par with the other ones that we've seen, like as far as these kind of legacy sequels.
Right.
It was definitely better than some of the ones, like definitely better than the recent Star Wars and stuff. But like
The
it's-
end was a little too much, but you know.
Yes, I would say that. I still think it's worth a watch, though. I still
Yeah.
think it's good enough that it's fun. But yeah, I can see that ending, that bit, really turning people off.
That's why I'm kind of feeling like
Oh.
this one might have a little bit more liberty to do whatever the hell it wants. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
yeah.
It's got a mix of things, so I don't know.
Yeah, and Joe, he was talking about the Kong X Godzilla.
Mm.
And then, the Dune Worm Bucket. Yes.
Dude, the worm bucket.
That's such
out
a
of
great
control.
name.
I had to look it up. Where you could get those, and I'm disappointed. We don't have AMC. We have one AMC like within driving distance, and it's like 45 minutes away for us. So,
I'd
and
have to bring my passport to go to one. It's not worth it.
Jesus. Well, you
You've
know what? Maybe
seen it,
I'll make
right?
the trip, and I'll send you. What's up?
You've seen the buckets,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. I've seen the buckets.
Okay.
I know what's up with the buckets.
That one looks a little suggestive, let me say.
Tales from the Dark Side movie was the real Creep Show 3. Agreed. Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side's really solid. Really great practical effects in that one as well. When the lady turns into the big dragon monster demon, the gargoyle. Love that shit. I saw -1. It's my favorite movie of 23. Yeah, no, dude, -1's good. Have you? I know, Alex, you saw -1, right?
I did. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I loved it. I just didn't. It wasn't my number 10. 10 out of 10 or anything.
Mhm.
I don't think nothing hit 10 out of 10 for me.
Evan,
But I
you didn't.
loved it. I think it was a fantastic film. I thought it was a little heavy on the drama. I wanted to see a little bit more Godzilla, but it's still a fantastic representation.
No, 100%. So yeah, Evan, you didn't check out -1, but I know Luke did, and that was his first Toho Godzilla movie. So why don't we pull you into the conversation a little bit here, guy?
What about -1?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw Shin Godzilla, but I like the kind of the heavy on the drama, just because I think it shows how versatile some of these kind of creature features can be. So it's like, can you have those backgrounds of certain things? But I don't know. For me, -1, it didn't make my top 10. I don't think, did it, Dylan? I can't remember, but
It didn't make your.
It
I
was
think it
not
was
on your
in
top
your.
10.
It was in your honorable mentions.
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan knows my
Yeah.
top 10. I don't. So
I think we were in agreement there, Luke.
Yeah, no, I mean, being an avid Godzilla fan, it had to crack my top 10 in there at some point. It was just so well done. Although I did say this, and I got some flack for it in my review about the liking Shin Godzilla a little bit more. I just like the more Lovecraftian, monstery Godzilla than the more traditional style one that we
It sounds
got.
like that would
which-
be up my alley.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you would really like Shin Godzilla because
I need
it's
to
just
see
so
it, too.
different. You haven't seen it?
No, I
Man.
thought I did, and I got confused with some other garbage.
That's
one that I
right.
saw.
I remember we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. I really enjoyed that one. Let me see.
Googly eye Godzilla.
Might get hate, but I like Godzilla 1998 movie. No, I'm right there with you, brother. I got it on
Ryan's
4K.
called me an old man. Ryan, I'm not.
Well, yeah, he's ripping you apart. He's been doing that since we went live.
He knows.
You old fuck.
He's been following my
Gather
streams
around,
on
kids.
Twitch
Grandpa
forever.
Alex is telling tales.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Americans are live right now.
Oh hell yeah! Godzilla -1 is another universe, right? Well, technically they're not universes. I think if you go back long enough, they are. But like Godzilla, like -1 is sort of just its own thing. Like they're kind of they like to just restart things. So if you want to call them universes, sure. But like you would have like 7 or 8 different universes at this point. Let's see.
Everything has a universe now, so they can just write off anything.
Yeah. Creepy cat
They
scene
can-
terrified me as a kid.
I
Oh,
was
you
so
didn't
glad
like
to hear
that movie?
Deadpool making fun of that.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
excited for that movie, man.
So I'm like Marvel Jesus.
Yeah.
That was so good. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I loved that little bit here about that. But we'll kind of wrap it up. So I think let's go final thoughts. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that Late Night with the Devils definitely won. We're checking out for sure. I mean, I've already been beating the door down over at Shudder, trying to figure out when I can get my hands on a screener. But yeah, it's definitely up there for me. I think whether it's a screener or going to the theater, which I got to say, I like that IFC and Shudder, even though they're like partnered and they do that, they are really good about putting their stuff in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, and that's huge.
They partnered up for that reason, I think, alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like I think like the fact that they can get these things in theaters, even if they're like a delayed release or a simultaneous release, it seems to work out well for them. So
Yeah.
I think that's the compromise, because you guys remember when we heard about, and I mentioned this before, I think, but AMC was like, oh, we're going to have to shut things down. We have to fire people. We're going to slim things down. Like, it seems like they've made a pretty good compromise. It's not as good as it was, where movies would just pop onto Shudder. But now they're like hitting the streaming or the theaters, and then a month later they come to Shudder.
yeah.
That's the compromise, rather than throwing Shudder away. So I'm fine with that.
I agree. I don't want Shudder to go away. Which I remember we had to report it early on that like Shudder was like had to lay off a bunch of people, and now it seems like they're doing pretty good.
That's
So
good.
that's encouraging at least.
Should we
Yeah.
do our, starting with Luke, our anticipation level on that movie? 1 to
Sure.
10?
Oh, that one made when we talked to Sledgehammer Horror. That was one of my top
Mhm.
3 picks. So that one I'd probably say about a 9. David Dastmalchian. I mean, just even in that little trailer alone, you could see his personality in there, and I like the tonal shift of it at the very end where we kind of get into the terror. So
Mhm.
and just kind of how different it looks from a found footage aspect of it. So I mean, that's a 9 for me. I'm really, really looking forward to that one.
Mhm. Evan, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super into the aesthetic. I love like lost footage stuff. Like I'll watch just like those little 2-minute shorts you can find on YouTube of like people faking lost media or whatever. That kind of vibe is something I'm super into. Love the like VHS nostalgic Halloween night stuff. David David D is
Okay.
always fantastic. I love him.
Dalmatian.
David Dalmatian.
Dalmatian.
I thoroughly enjoy every performance from him. So I'm looking forward to it. Well, I have you. Oh, someone just asked me if I watched the last broadcast. I
Yeah.
have. I have the 8. Is it 8 films that did a Blu-ray release of it? There's some like smaller label that did one. But yes, I did see it. I'm
Yeah,
planning on
that's
making
what
a
I
video
need to
about it at
see.
some point. Yeah,
I've
I mean
heard a
it's
lot
one
of
of the
good
like
things.
formative. It's one of the
And-
formative found footage movies. It's before Blair Witch.
And
101
then-
films. Yeah, that's the one I have. It's
Cynthia's right. I agree.
Yeah, anybody
Or is
with
it
Ghostwatch
Ghostwatch?
looks amazing though. I'm not familiar with Ghostwatch. What is Ghostwatch?
It's a British aired like a event that they tried to treat kind of like War of the Worlds back in the day, but
Oh.
on British television. It scared the ever living piss out of people, but it was all production, you know. But they try to make it seem like they were investigating this house, and then you can actually, I think it's on Shutter. I think it's on Shutter.
Oh, I'll
It's
have to
one of
look
the
into that.
streaming services, but yeah, you can watch it. It's pretty great. I mean, it's a little dated, but you know, it's a really interesting piece. You know, for
Oh yeah.
times.
No, I mean it sounds good. I like that kind of stuff. Like there was that what's that really famous British movie?
Oh, that
That's
one.
yeah, right. No, the one that was like if like there was like a nuclear apocalypse or like or
Oh,
like there was like a World War III. What is that
yeah.
called?
Shit.
People are
I
like,
got
"Oh,
it.
it's really
Starts with a
traumatizing."
T.
I'm sure somebody will figure it out in the chat there.
Threads.
Threads. Yep, there you
Yep.
go.
Good
Nice
call,
job.
Silhouetted.
Yep,
Silhouetted
yep.
on the ball.
Dude, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the most tragic fucking
I-
movie to ever watch.
I watched a video about it and I really want to see it. I've heard it's pretty rough. This one's going to Evan here. Just got access to both Hallows Eve movies, and I wanted to, and I haven't watched any reviews. I will get to yours, Evan, but hearing him talk about them I'm concerned to say at least. But I love Terrifier, so
Yeah. So I really like the first one. It's fun. It's like a good Halloween aesthetic. I'll definitely watch it in October. The second movie, I there's no reason to recommend it because all of the shorts that are worth watching are on YouTube. Because the movie, none of them were, well, only the wraparound segments were made for the movie, and they're fucking atrocious. The others were sourced from already completed short films. So you can find all of them online, and there are a handful of good ones, but the movie was awful,
not great.
to say the least. But the first one's fun. I like it. It's
Awesome.
cool to see such an early version of Art the Clown before he was so big. Because I remember when the first one came out, and I remember what Dr. Wolfula said in his video. I was rewatching it recently, where he was like talking about something. He's like, "Except no one knows who the fuck Art the Clown is." I'm like, "Oh, how times have changed."
Yeah, seriously. Did so that was a different actor too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, for
played.
some of
What's
those.
the hell's his name? I just got done with those videos. Jesus, I should give it Mike Gianelli. I think is his name. And he did. He does a pretty good job in it. He's in Ninth Circle and the Terrifier short film. And he's better in the Terrifier short because he gets more to do. It's a different vibe than David Howard Thornton's. It's not quite as like full of that like vibrant energy that he has, but there is a cool like little creepy sort of excited bounciness to his performance that I liked. But it is hard to beat David. Yeah, fellow Dr. Wolfula viewer, me and
Oh,
Dylan
yeah.
were just gushing about him the other night.
I know we were setting everything up. I mean, I've been watching him for years.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, then we got the threads here. Oh yeah, I gotta say, recently got Ghostface NECA figure, made a stop motion. Definitely do post it. I used to do stop motions a lot on my old channel that I won't bring up, so that no one can find. It's all private anyway. So
Yeah, I got my G.I. Joe ones up.
yeah, but yeah, no, I definitely want that new NECA. I know I don't think you guys do too much with the collectibles, but we Luke and I were talking about that a few months ago. That one that's like the buff. Oh, it's from Scream 5. When he's doing the stab movie where he's got the chrome mask and everything. Yeah, they're making a figure out of that. So
Oh, nice. That's
I thought
cool.
That's cool. Most depressing movie. Well, one of them ranked up there. Yeah, from what I've heard, Threads is super.
I really need
super
to check
sad.
this movie out. What is this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
worth it. I mean, if you are looking to not be happy or have any kind of hope for the future, it's definitely one of the best movies
Wait.
out there.
Someone
Arkansas
at work
David, though,
recommended this to me
absolutely.
the other day. That was already in my search history. So
Yeah.
I've gotten it recommended twice
What's up,
in a
fam?
week.
That you know what that means.
Yep.
You gotta sit down and watch it. Don't know why.
By the
I found
way,
this version of Art's Little Creeper.
Dylan,
oh,
you
nice.
didn't say your anticipation level.
Oh yeah, no, off the charts. I'm super excited. All right, yeah, we got to
I'm
get
just
back
trying to
on
bring
the
us
ball.
back
I
a
want to
little
mention
bit,
what
yeah.
Cynthia said here first.
Mhm.
I kind of know what she means because there's like this dirty VHS aesthetic to All Hallows
The
Eve.
first one, yeah.
Yeah, that I actually do know what she means. I like David Howard Thornton's version more, but there is like a creep factor to the one in All Hallows Eve that I found isn't
Stingy.
really in the, yeah. And Damien Leone has said he wants to try and bring back that feel for the third movie, which I'm super
See, that's one
excited
thing
about.
I was kind of missing in those movies is like I felt like it could have been a little dingier and like
Yeah, I mean Terrifier 2 I loved to bits, but I mean it's a very, very different feel to All Hallows Eve. It was like that felt like a movie that you found in like a used video shop that was on like VHS in the back.
right. Well, that's what I liked about All
Yeah.
Hallows Eve. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what made it stand out was definitely those in between segments because it had that weird, scary kind of like
Yeah.
he would just kind of appear in the room
It's
and
creepy.
like
It is creepy.
you're
I
like,
like
what
it.
the fuck?
Anyway, yeah, we should get back on track
Yeah,
if we have
sorry.
to.
Well, now I have a
proceed.
point I have to make is the fact that actually Luke and I are late adopters to Terrifier. We really hopped on board with 2. And
Oh.
I don't know. I can say for me, I don't necessarily think it was the VHS aesthetic. It was more just the aimlessness of the first one that kind of it just felt very much like we were just everything was just set up for kills, which I'm fine with, but
Mm.
at the same time, it's kind of like I just
For the
didn't get the hype for
For
that.
the first
but-
Terrifier? Or
yeah,
All Hallows Eve?
the first
Right.
Terrifier.
They're a very different feel. Even All Hallows Eve is more what I was referring to with the aesthetic, because even the first Terrifier has a pretty different tone to it.
Yeah, but Luke, how are you feeling about like does that aesthetic bug you at all? Because for me, it's I think the VHS tone and aesthetic is still cool. I still like that.
Oh yeah, I like it too. I think Terrifier was its own beast, and I watched some of All Hallows Eve, the first one. I didn't get through it all the way because I think I just randomly turned it on. But I like the aesthetics to different things like that. I think it adds a lot to it, but then there are certain things that don't need it. So
Right.
Mhm.
I think
It's not
that's
a
fair.
perfect movie.
yeah.
Not at all.
Also, from a director's standpoint, do you want your film to feel too dated, or do you want it to feel to last the times? Because
Depends,
we're
I
hitting a
guess.
nostalgic button for us, but the people that are going to watch it generations later might not have. They might not connect with it. They'd be like, "Hello, my daughter. Hello, my baby." Like,
True.
fucking-
I don't know. Ryan might say that you're on par.
Yeah, you
with
might
that
be onto
group
something
buddy.
there, man.
So maybe they're made for you. Still love Terrifier 1 and love 2 as well. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited to do those videos later this year.
Oh yeah, no, we're working on some stuff there too. But why don't we hop in?
I give it a
here.
9, by the way.
This is absolutely this.
Since everybody
we're
forgets
gonna
about it.
get into the rhythm now. Okay, we're gonna go through
Yeah.
it. So no more delays. But this is actually one that Alex recommended. So we're gonna check this one out first.
It's not that I recommended. I said we need to watch it. Let's
We
just
need to
be clear,
watch
all right?
Which one is this?
Okay.
Oh, the
This
old
is
ones.
the old one. So everybody got a chance to see this, right?
Yep.
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So for
This
those
guy
who
did
didn't
the
see
deep
it,
ones, if you're curious, he did the original deep ones.
and
Mm.
again, for those joining us, I'm not playing any audio just because I doubt anything would flag us for this movie, but I do not trust YouTube. So
See you, Joe.
yes, but yeah, no, this was Interesting. I was a little
Look at that.
perplexed by the creatures here. I was a little bit like, okay, it's a neat concept, and then that happens, and I'm
At
like,
first,
oh,
it
okay.
looks like, oh, we're doing like a dark, like a serious thing, and then that pops up. You're like, okay, what?
now it's like-
and then we get into this point where it's just like,
See,
I gotta
kinda like
say,
that,
though,
oh yeah, no, absolutely.
See
I
you,
love that
Gremlin.
kind of like whiplash.
yeah, I really liked the like practical effects here, though. I think
The-
like that's definitely, if they're spending their budget there, like this looks cool.
Yeah, that was the standout for sure. Some of the costume design looks a little iffy,
Yeah,
but and I
I
mean,
think
you know,
got a slight tint of humor in it because you can kind of
I
tell
mean,
in the trailer.
that
Definitely
the
practical
last
effect
thing of like,
masks,
oh,
yeah.
leftovers or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, so they're kind of leaning into it a little bit, which is good because when I was watching it at first and I thought it was like serious, I was like, the acting is not gonna help this like tone. But if they're being goofy, I'm sure it'll be.
It definitely looks like it's riding that line for sure.
Yeah, and they even used the name Nyarlathotep,
Yeah.
which is that guy right there, and then they got the fish people in the background, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like a weird jokey movie.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
like oh, that's a big fire hydrant, Ryan says. But yeah, no, I'm definitely with you there. It's this looks like a weird one. It's one of those ones where it's like if they didn't lean into the kind of jokiness of it, I feel like this would be just an awful movie. Like I feel like this would not be working for me. But the fact that final joke and them kind of like leaning into this, it does grab my attention a little bit. I'm a little bit more on board with it now.
Well, you, Luke,
You know, it's like
that's a good start.
it falls in line with like a lot of HP Lovecraft that I do. I don't know why. It just seems like HP Lovecraft properties, like you get some stuff that's really well done, and then you get stuff that's just like really low budget. And I don't know if it's just a lot of love. There's a lot of love there for creatives to not have a big budget and then be like, well, I want to tackle something HP Lovecraft, because I think like, you know, the tentacles, things like that, I think that works for me. But then when we kind of get into masks and things like that, I'm kind of like, that falls in line with what I've seen with low budget HP Lovecraft stuff. But you know, I don't know, are they leaning into? Is this supposed to be like a comedy horror?
It doesn't say that it is. I looked it up on IMDb,
That's
and
what
it
I was
doesn't
curious
say
about.
it. And I think that tone that I think it might confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because I'm picking up a lot of comedy horror, but
If it's not, then they shouldn't have that joke in the trailer because that is definitely like gonna make
Yeah,
people think
I
that they're
agree.
getting in for something different.
But I mean, you look at it. You
well,
can't
that's
take
the
it too
thing, like-
seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go. It's for excitement levels, I mean, I'm probably at a 5. Like I'm neutral. I'm like maybe I'll check it out. It looks fun. But, I'm not gonna rush out.
I'm more interested now. I would say, like, if we got a screener for this, I would watch it to review it. But I don't know if this one would have to be. I'd wait till it comes out on Tubi. I don't think I'd be spending
That's kind of
any kind of money on it until it's one of those ones that unfortunately I don't. My confidence level is so mixed. I just don't know where I would put it. Alex, where are you sitting with this one?
I mean, this is not going to be a 10 out of 10 movie. I
What?
can just tell you right now, it's going to be like maybe over middle, maybe. And if it actually lands the jokes, it could be like a 7. You know, but like for me, interest lies. I'm definitely going to rent it. I don't even care if it sucks, because I just will. I don't know. I'm a Lovecraft hopeful, and I always like hope that just something stands out for it. You know, even if it's not the most expensive budget. I just watched that one, Gods of the Deep, and holy shit, was that bad. But you know, I appreciate that they tried. You know, so I'll always give these ones a chance. So I don't know what my anticipation level is. Probably like a 6.
I believe the director follows us on Twitter, and yeah,
So you're at a 10 for excitement.
I was watching his like lead up to it, like every day, like be posting pictures, and I was so confident for that film. I was like, okay, this one looks like it could be fun. And then that first trailer dropped, and I was like, oh no, this is one of those movies. Yeah, but and then pretty much your review sealed the deal for me. We talked the other night, and you were like, that was tough to get through, and then your official. When I watched your official review, I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? That's another 2B1 for me.
Yeah. See, that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to take the hit for our friends and our followers. You know what I mean? So they don't have to waste their money.
Yeah, that's a really low budget Lovecraft movie I watched recently, called Iconoclast.
Iconoclast?
Iconoclast, yeah.
Iconoclast. I can't speak.
I mean, I think it means like an avatar.
Oh, like a
My
blue
friend's band is
person,
called
or like
Iconoclast, actually.
the guy with the wind and the water and the
The
fire.
guy with the wind.
She's like the wind.
I own it and I watched it. Dreadful film, to be honest. Okay. Gangnam Style dude was in it too. Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
So it's
I forget.
Korean.
Psy? Yeah. Kind of gives me Dagon vibes, but more silly. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
much
they had
so.
the fish people in there, so.
And they do look like the Dagon fish people. So, you got to give it that. They're staying true to form. But let's move into this one's really short. This one is definitely a teaser. But this is a part of that neon, like, kind of double punch we're getting this summer. And I don't know what to think of this.
I'm
I
into
am
it.
just in for it. Yep. And that is, of course, for those who don't know, Cuckoo. So there's not much to show here, but I definitely think we can kind of talk about just like, I guess we're going to save a little bit more for this for when we talk about long legs at the end here. But yeah, no, this, I don't know, man. Neon's really showing up. Like, they got two movies here that both look creepy and weird and strange. This one definitely more supernatural than the other, but damn, I'm excited for this.
This is my favorite kind of trailer, where you just get like a really short snippet that's like, here's the tone, and
Yep.
then here's when it's out. That's the quickest way to sell me on something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna freeze frame on whatever the hell this thing is. But yeah, it's what I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here, and I know
Got
that's
sunglasses on.
It's what I thought. Yeah, because at first I thought that was like a face, like some kind of like sunken eye demon.
Yeah.
But no, it's
I just now
glasses.
realized it.
Maybe that's what it's meant to be, and they're like, the shot's out of focus, they won't notice.
We noticed. All right, we got
noticed.
this.
We got you,
Luke,
Neon.
how you feeling about Cuckoo? All that you know and everything there.
It definitely interesting, just little taste there. So I mean, we don't really know what to expect, but I'm with Evan where it's like that's my favorite kind of trailer where it doesn't give anything away. Where, you look at Late Night with the Devil and it kind of gives you a little bit of a gist, but I don't think it gives you a ton of everything that we're going to be seeing. Whereas like this one barely gives you anything. And I love that because it's like I have no clue what to expect with this.
Yeah.
But like you said, Neon Infinity Pool was one of my favorites from last year.
I
So
haven't seen that.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Alex, you had Infinity Pool. That was on your honorable mentions. Or was that on your list?
I don't remember. I think it might have been in my. If you listen to the podcast, it might have been on there, but I didn't include it on the video.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, then if it was definitely honorable mentions then. So
yeah, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just it's one of those ones that just kind of grow on you. I feel because like it's like even the Brendan Cronenberg's other stuff didn't hit me initially like everybody else.
That's how I am with Brandon Cronenberg, where it's
Right.
like I think I can see the genius in it when I watch it, but it takes me a minute to warm up to his stuff. Like Infinity Pool, I think I've probably watched 3 or 4 times now, and I find myself liking it. Same thing with Possessor, where it's like I liked it when I first watched it, but then as I continuously watch it, I'm like, okay, this is getting better and better.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just the silhouette with the "it's a grower, not a shower" comment there, but I agree here. It would be with these little red dots, they could just be like reflections of something, but with what Cynthia's saying
camera.
here, where it's like, yeah, it's the camera. Yeah, it's the red
It's
dot.
recording, guys.
It's their hot light, yeah.
But like, I think what she's trying to imply here is like these giant alien eyes. What if she takes the sunglasses off and there's, like sunken in alien eyes or something red under there? No, that's
so I got some
there.
information about this movie that I thought I would share with you guys.
Sure.
I actually
I love insider information.
So this is from writer, director, producer Tillman Singer, who is he wrote and directed I believe the Lose movie, which is up on Shudder as well, which I highly recommend people to watch. It's not a movie that people are going to like overall, but the things that they did in the movie were really fucking cool. Like visually, aesthetically, vibe wise, it was a really interesting film. It just wasn't like it's something I'd rewatch a lot, or I couldn't see many people getting wild about. But I think there's going to be some visual, aesthetic stuff in this more than this picture really shows us. If you get a chance, I would highly recommend you check out Luz. It's Luz on Shutter. It's not for everybody, but you'll see what I mean by it.
I'll definitely check it out then. Yeah, I mean, like I'm always looking for movies that are like kind of gonna, I guess, challenge you in a sense when it comes to horror. I guess that's just kind of where my head's been at the last year with things like, I guess kicking things off last year with Skinamarink was just the right way to get me in that mood. Because like,
Right.
with like things like even Evan was saying, we were talking about it. I don't know if we talked about it on air or if it was off air, but when we talked about Lake Mungo and how
The other
that movie
night?
tends to challenge people. Yeah. Okay. That was the other
That was
night.
off air, yeah.
Yeah. And how that movie tends to challenge people. And if you're not in the right headspace or you have too much built up, then like it'll probably disappoint you, but there's so much to love about that movie.
Toaster strudel.
It sneezed a big snot.
People in it are not likable. Sometimes it's hard to get in the flow when the protagonists are generally protagonists, Jesus, are generally despicable. Yeah, no, I agree. I still loved Infinity Pool though. I still thought that was a really strong outing. It was one of those ones where as Luke was kind of talking about it during his top 10, I was like, should have made my honorable mentions. I would have, but I just cut myself off at 5.
I think there's something that Brandon does that I think it's different than his father's, obviously. I mean, he obviously has picked up his dad's aesthetic pretty quick. And but he has his own thing. And I'm not trying to say that he's borrowing from his dad. I'm just saying that there's tonal things in his work that I think that's where I bump into problems with him a little bit with my initial view on his films, because they're not like other films that you'd watch. I don't know, like Cronenberg's real slow too, but I don't know. There's just like that story of Infinity Pool feels so stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like there was things that I undeniably loved about that film, but then I don't know what made me come to like a 6.5 or a 7 overall when I finished it. You know what I mean? Like I
I'm
felt
planning
like
on watching the extended version for the first time when I see the movie.
Oh
I
yeah,
wonder
you
if
gotta
that makes a
watch the one
difference.
with the big.
I don't know
scene,
anything.
The
I don't know a
NC-17.
damn thing about this movie, so I'm excited.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't look up anything. Just watch the unrated cut if you can find it, and then we'll talk about it because there's a special scene in that movie that
Cool.
was pretty damn funny to watch
Cynthia,
in the theater.
good taste.
I freaking love
Yeah,
it.
Yes.
that movie's been
Honestly,
popping
really
up lately like crazy. I'm gonna have to just review it on the YouTube channel now.
Lake
What,
Mungo?
Yeah, because
Just like go in with the right expectations, because it's not
I've seen
like,
it before. I just don't remember. It's for
right?
some
Yeah, we
reason.
talked about that. I mean that fuck man,
I'm
that's like
sure as soon as it starts, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. But I just can't think of it.
it's one of the two things that I just don't like. I'm nervous to review because I don't know how to approach it. Like it's Lake Mungo and it's Haunting of Hill House. Mike Flanagan are the two things where I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna
Tackle him.
do this. Yeah,
Maybe talk about your inability to do that. Maybe
I've actually thought about making a video where I just sit down for like 5 minutes and literally say I don't know how to talk about this movie.
Can't talk about.
But the issue with that is that that'll overhype Lake Mungo for a lot of people because it's a very specific type of scary
Like
that
a
isn't
niche.
scary to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like send people into it with the wrong expectations.
No, I get that entirely, especially being a recent viewer of it. 5 Across the Eyes. I have never heard of this movie.
We'll be right back.
Pure slime as it all pooled in her hand. Funniest St. Jesus. Gotta love that. Alrighty. And then I don't think we went through everybody's so I'm excited for Cuckoo. Alex, how you feeling about Cuckoo?
I mean, knowing that it's from Tillman Singer and the Luz, I'm moderately excited because he definitely has a eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really and a vibe for sure. So I'm curious to see where it goes. For sure. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm not like excited about it. I'm just like 7.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, Luke, how you feeling about it overall?
I'm interested. It's hard for me to really gauge an excitement level from it though,
Yeah.
just because it's such a minimal trailer of we don't really know what to expect. I really hope, like Dylan had said about challenging an audience, I hope it is something a little bit different, not just falls in line with, you know, some paint by numbers kind of horror film. But being from Neon, I think we could get something interesting. So
Or we could
if
get It Lives Inside, where it
okay,
was
okay,
total
don't
disappointment.
even get that out of here. We're not talking. That is
He
a
wants to
film.
stay on the infinity pool side of the fence
That's
there.
it. I actually forgot It Lives Inside was Neon. So
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
I retract everything I said about Neon. Doesn't even matter.
No,
Because
it's
It
all
Lives Inside
good.
just trumps. Now I'm kidding. I'll probably say 6 or 7. I'm neutral on it. It looks interesting from that little piece, but it could go either way.
Cuckoo?
I will say this:
Cuckoo?
Neon is doing a good job of
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, we were talking about just overall excitement level. So yeah, you're the last one. So
The thing with this kind of trailer is that it doesn't give you a ton to get excited about necessarily, but it does give you a lot to get intrigued by.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay attention to the movie for sure, and I'll probably check it out. I'm not, I don't know, I'm probably at like a 6 for excitement, but like intrigued, I'm at like an 8. Like I wanna know more.
I
I
want to know
wanna know what the
what's
sunglasses are about.
what's an old semen hand. What's going on there?
all
Yeah.
right. Well, we're gonna hop on to another kind of lower budget one, but this one's kind of been exciting. We've got a screener on the way for this one. So I have been eagerly checking our email for this, and that's Frogman. So
Mm.
yeah, this was interesting. And what's funny is we talked up the Outwaters quite a bit on our channel. I know you also were very high on that film,
I still haven't
Alex.
seen it.
I know you got
It
to.
was my
But
favorite of the two.
I know, and it would be so. I know I'm gonna love it. Like,
Robbie Banfitch has been like championing this movie, like on Twitter. He's like trying to line up something where he wants to sit down. He's doing like a Patreon, podcast thing himself, and he's been trying to sit down and talk about or talk to the director of this. And yeah, so he's really big on this. And I'm intrigued as all hell. I love cryptid stories. Like, just ask Luke. Like, I'm an easy sell for these kind of like monster movies with a little bit more bite to them than just being goofy monster movies. I'll watch those all day long. But like these, where it's like a little bit more of like it could be the real monster, it could not be. Very Willow Creek esque kind of stuff. Like, I'm really into this.
forgot about Willow Creek.
Mhm.
By the way, if you like that, you have to watch Last Broadcast.
I will. I'll definitely
And
check it out.
You know who did Willow Creek too, right?
Yeah, what's his name? Fucking
Bobcat.
Bobcat. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
I don't want to bring up that, but
all good. No, I still love the movie. It's definitely one of the craziest. Like, I guess not necessarily like the craziest in the sense of like it's surprising, but like I just love the way that they chose to tell that story. And something that I think is really cool and unique is they stayed true to like Bigfoot lore and aesthetic by not making him some vicious monster. It was more people stumbled into his territory and got that, because that's always how I've envisioned him. So it's like you mess with the bull, you get the horns kind of thing. It's not like it's not like he was seeking them out like that. Oh God, was that movie Primal Rage, where they basically just make Bigfoot Predator? Still like that movie too. That movie's a lot of fun. So
I
yeah.
thought you were talking about the '80s one for a second.
Oh no, not that one. Not the one with no, I'm thinking of Shakma. I'm thinking of a different movie. Sorry. But yeah, let me know, guys. Frogman. Let's start. Luke, we'll go with you. We'll kind of move our way over here.
I think this is isn't this kind of, was this take place in the 90s or something? Is this supposed to, is that period kind of?
I believe the original footage that they
90s?
play is supposed to take place in like the mid 90s, because like this guy was supposed to have filmed the Frogman when he was a kid, and people have been debunking it for years. So now that he's kind of a graduate, he's going back to try to find and prove that his footage is real.
And I didn't know how I was gonna feel about this. Like, and me being not the biggest fan of found footage, and then Outwater's kind of swaying me. Uh, Looking into the trailer here, I'm actually very excited about this one because I think that aesthetic there, that VHS aesthetic, and I know Alex had mentioned it, where it kind of maybe timestamps it for an audience, but you know, I think it can go both ways where it almost gives it a timelessness because, someone has the most current iPhone and we put that in a 2024 film, and then 5 years down the road it's like, well, that film's dated. Whereas like when you have that aesthetic that is so far back right now, I think it kind of fits for an audience to be like, okay, well, we're back in that nostalgic. Even if those younger kids are not nostalgic, they can notice that it is a 90s or an 80s type of approach to it. So I'm excited for this one. I love the integration of the found footage and then kind of going back and telling that story, especially being low budgeted. I like that they're really, leaning into that and that kind of hokiness to it, where it's kind of like, I guess, an offshoot of, I guess you could say, Creature from the Black Lagoon, where they're kind of having those elements to it and kind of putting your own spin to it, where it's like, hey, we can kind of modernize these certain stories like that and bring it to an audience on a smaller budget. So I'm intrigued by this one. Excitement level, I'll probably say I put an 8 on this one.
Heck yeah. And before we hop into Evan's comments here, just wanted to highlight this one where someone says they actually liked It Lives Inside, not a perfect film. And that's great. I don't think I don't fault anybody for really enjoying that movie. I think like Luke and I went into that really excited. I think like because it had the creatures, it had everything. Like it looked like it was going to be something. It's a neon. It looked like it was going to be right up our alley, and we just found ourselves just kind of walking away, shaking our heads a little bit. With especially, I want to say that final segment with the creature was what really killed it for me in the end. I felt like that was just too hokey, but I don't fault anybody for liking that movie. I don't know how you guys felt about it if you've seen it. So
I can't remember to say. I don't want to yeah.
All right, but
Alex,
or Evan, how are you feeling about Frogman?
I mean, I love this shit. I really like found footage. I've always loved found footage. One of, if not like the first horror movies that I saw was Paranormal Activity. So, I mean, that would have been, when did that come out? 2007 or something like that?
Yeah, 2007.
2001.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity?
No, it took place then. I think it came out in 2007. Didn't it?
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always thinking, I think it was 2 years after I thought it was 2 years after Blair Witch.
No, it was
like
a few years after.
So that would have been maybe the first like not kid horror movie that I ever saw. And I've always thought found footage, when it's done right, is the scariest brand of horror. And I mean, you combine that with a frog, and I'm all in. I love frogs. I love cryptids. I love found footage. So, I mean, this looks like the most honest Blair Witch knockoff that I've ever seen. Like, there's so many things where obviously all found footage movies are paying homage to Blair Witch in one way or another, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But it looks like this one's really leaning into it, which is nice to see. But I'm probably at like an 8 for this one for excitement.
Yeah, I'm definitely right there. I'm gonna give this one a 9. I think like the longer that I have to wait to see it, and the more that like my excitement builds for it, I'm kind of like, I just really love cryptid stuff, so that was an easy sell for me. I'm one of those people that just puts on like those YouTube channels that just dive into the history and the lore of cryptids when I go to sleep. So like that's me. But Alex, where are you sitting at with Frogman?
Yeah, I'm about an 8 as well. So I think I really like found footage. I always have. I'll always like it. It's not. I'm pretty particular about my found footage, though. I will say that. Like, if the acting doesn't make me believe in it, I'm kind of out. Like, it really has to shine story wise in order for me to follow up after that. But if I start feeling like inauthenticity, I'm out. Like, it just like ruins it for me.
You ever seen Butterfly Kisses?
Yeah, actually, pretty good movie.
It's a cool movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been recommended it recently.
about that one.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
CJM.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
we
to.
do more streams.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to highlight that. Yeah, I think we're planning a little something. You
Yeah.
know, we're working out the
Give
kinks.
us a little while, a little bit.
Yeah, we're
One,
working out the kinks. We're still figuring it all out here, as you
Yeah.
can tell. We're not all up on it. I'm still figuring out how to moderate and
as long
keep the
as you
chat
guys
moving.
still come, we'll be doing them probably. You know,
Oh
so
yeah. Yeah.
thank you guys
Absolutely.
for supporting it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is really fun.
So
Loved
I want to add
exist.
one more thing about
Oh yeah,
Frogman.
go ahead.
It looks kind of bloody and violent.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the end, you can see some stuff really going on there. And it's one of the things we have to admit that it's definitely not easy being green. So I think
true.
that
It's true.
no, but I really think it might be kind of violent, and I think that's
Yeah.
why Robbie Banfitch is into it, because they probably do something really good with the sound,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a huge element for me, and why I love the new Blair Witch movie. So
see about other found. What was I gonna say? I think I was just thinking about As Above, So Below. I think that's all that was. That's one of the most like underrated to me.
I've heard
it's
that.
better than I remembered.
I haven't seen it, but
I
I
really like that. Are you claustrophobic?
I can be. I guess it just depends on the
Okay.
situation.
All right.
But yeah, no, I definitely do want to check that one out.
It's very good.
Exists is also pretty good. I do have to give it to Oh Danny Boy. I do like Exists, pretty good Bigfoot movie.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys looking at this Frogman. Have you heard of the anthology film called God of Frogs? I have not.
I'm
Anybody
looking
heard
it up
that
right
one?
now.
All right, that seems you guys do some stuff on that. I'll go through the chat, and then we'll hit our last trailer
God of
here.
Frogs. Well, I just got something about ancient Egypt, so
Just realized the main guy from Frogman in the movie looks like Philip J. Fry. Yep, I agree. That I did think that the other day when I saw this trailer for the first time. His haircut.
God of
Is it
Frogs.
of frogs and gods, or
No, I
the
found one
God
that's
of
in
frogs?
post-production right now.
He said it's an anthology, so
Exploring unexplained events and features segments by emerging directors. Yeah.
okay, then that's probably what it is.
The God of Frogs.
I'll check this out for sure. Also picky about found footage, but I absolutely love great stuff has come out from the genre. Agreed, Cynthia. I think that a lot of good stuff, especially recently, we've had a lot of really big wins in the found footage genre for
Yep.
sure. Ribbit, yep. Like New Blair Witch 2, saw it in theaters by myself. I think it made
The
a difference.
2016
Great
one?
sound. Yeah, I wasn't big on that, to be honest. I think I built it up too much in my head, and I just can't go back to. I've
Which
tried
one?
to revisit
I
it,
don't-
and I've just.
I don't
kinda
know
been
if
like,
I've seen it since it came out. I remember enjoying it, but I'd have to.
Which one?
I
The
just
2016 Blair Witch.
2016, the sequel.
Oh, I think it's better than any of them have ever been put out, and I know that they changed things.
Than the
and I know
original?
a lot of, yeah, it's definitely better than the original. And trust me, I have mad respect for the original because of what it did for its time, but it just does not hold up for me anymore. You know,
Really?
yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't. And I think the new one is like some of the best sound design I think I've ever heard in a horror movie. Like if you listen to that with like full like Atmos and everything, like it's good. Like yeah, it's not perfect. It's like I gave it like an 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
and I think it was like borderline 8. So
I think we have found Alex's Halloween Ends.
I think we might have found a pretty hot take from you, bud.
no, I don't know. I think
He's like, fuck
it's
you guys.
it's not a hot take. It's the right take. That's
Oh,
it's okay to be wrong. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I mean,
that's
if
what
you're
that is.
comparing it to the original, you can't anyway. So you can't do that.
I mean, granted,
yeah, because the original smashes
You'll
it.
never have that alchemy happen again, ever.
No.
giving him playing devil's advocate here. I mean, you got a studio film versus a movie that was made by literally 3 friends in a tent, and then you'd have the directors that would show up with notes at the beginning of the day and be like, drop them off. Here's what you're going to kind of do today. Now go have fun. And then we'll fuck with you the whole time. And then that's how they made the movie.
They did some fucking wizardry.
And I respect that take. I think ultimately the 2016 one, I didn't like all of the technology. It felt very much like we lost kind of, I think, what was special about that first film for me. But I will give you the sound design. From what I can recall, was pretty good. I thought
Yeah.
the witch
The-
that we
the
saw
leg
at the end
thing
was
was
pretty cool.
good, too.
Yeah,
Hearing the
liked-
trees in the background
Yes.
falling, that freaked me out.
I liked the kind
There's
of
some good shit.
they were able to. I liked how they were able to kind of simulate that whole like never-ending night
Yeah, time
element
loop.
to it. The time loop was done way
That was
so
really
much
cool.
better. But again, they had a budget compared to the original. So
Which was in the original Blair Witch, and people don't remember it.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's because they could simulate it a lot better in 2016 as opposed
Right.
to, having, a stick of bubble gum and $5 and
I mean,
out there doing your
I
best.
guess for me, I remember the feeling of seeing the original Blair Witch for the first time, and it scared the living shit out of me. And I remember seeing the other one in the theater and being like, that was cool.
He says, Danny Boys follows up with, he says that we reminded him of God of Frogs. He thought it would be out by now. So it's been out for a little bit. So I guess we'll have to wait on that one and see when it's there. Sizzling take, Silhouette says. And then
Proper.
Wreck is still my favorite found footage film, hands down. More of a Quarantine fan, if I do say so myself. I'm just kidding. I don't
Dude,
like Quarantine.
I was gonna say
don't
we
like
can't have two of those
Quarantine.
kinds of takes back to back. Although that
No,
would have been crazier. That would
I've
have been
only seen the original Wreck. I haven't seen the sequels, but I hear they're good. So I do want to go back and check them out at some point.
Wreck is amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, I have the
first one.
collection. I love it, except for the last one. The last one's
Luke, I don't think
seen
we've
it.
ever talked about Wreck.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
what?
No.
The first
Oh,
Buddy,
one's
you're
good.
in for a treat, man.
Oh man.
Well, to be fair, Luke and I, we are not the biggest found footage people. We really only started going back and seeing what the genre has had to offer over the last decade. Because we kind of skipped out on most every found footage film. It just wasn't our thing.
yeah.
But Skinamarink, which isn't really found footage, but that style of experimental, and then obviously the Outwaters, it opened a lot of doors for us. So I just recently saw Hell House. Hell House was really good, the first one.
I like the
didn't-
first one.
I'm not going to turn this into a Hell House conversation because we really got to get to Texas Chainsaw. But
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to play for.
Oh wait, well we can play. We
At
can
this
get
point.
our bearings. Then I promise
Yeah.
we'll do a follow up stream where we do at some
That's
point
fine.
where we just play Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this was we picked too many trailers, boys. We
you,
should have just
Silhouette.
stuck to 3.
I like
Sleep
talking
Worth Dookie
anyway.
last
So
night?
this is fun.
Yeah, I'm actually totally fine with how this has gone. This is fun.
Cool.
I think
I'm glad.
I don't know if this is the case for you guys, but I don't have anyone around me who's as into horror as I am. I have people who like it, but
I
not
have
to the
Luke.
same degree.
So and
Yeah.
I have some friends, so it's I do have people that are
I've got some of it, but
I
it's not to the same point. So
consistently
then
talk with.
when I can get into these calls, it's just nice to
Right.
chat
That's
with
what I mean, man. That's
people
why
who are
we
in
do
that.
this anyway.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Every person I've ever met says the same thing.
dude.
So
it's the
it's
best.
like you just want to be surrounded by it. You just want to talk about it, and no one's is into it. It's kind of like when people want to talk politics and you don't like it.
Yeah,
It's just like that same
Makes it
feeling, you
tough.
know.
I don't even
Yep.
like horror movies. I love the silence. It's like,
Luke
Bro,
just didn't say anything
dude,
for 10
I
minutes.
was just gonna
I
say,
don't
dude,
like 'em.
you've said like 4 things. So it'll just
You just-
like.
He punched my childhood right there. Like,
like I don't even. I had to search Blair.
What I
Witch.
love is that you've got like Art the Clown behind you. You've got Tiffany and Sam and
Look at his
Halloween. and-
show
I
him
just
your
thought that was a
gremlins.
clown mask. I didn't know that was
Oh.
significant.
Show
in the
them your
horror space.
Mogwai. These things are fucking incredible.
Oh,
These things, I love these. You got them off Timu. I want them so bad.
oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
dude.
and
And
they
he's got a jigsaw one too.
They were only 25 cents, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were cheap. They were like $4.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
You just have to get them when they're not sold out.
Yeah,
No.
Luke hit the Timu train hard last year and just filled up his background with all this shit. And I'm just like, damn,
I haven't got into
Now
the
they're outside
collectibles
his
yet.
house buying on. I'm
don't
kidding.
do it.
I bought the Halloween 2 NECA thing where it has Michael and Loomis.
Oh yeah.
So I bought that, and then I was just kind of like, what do I do with this? So I didn't catch the bug. I'm still safe.
Did you
'Cause
get the Hellraiser cube too?
No.
I want the Hellraiser cube that's on Timu.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah, dude, it's
but-
so. Is it really
Granted.
small?
Yeah.
Damn.
I
It's
was
not
looking at
the
getting a
one that's
Necronomicon replica.
Dude, the NECA. Are you talking about
I
the one
would
from
too.
NECA or Trick or Treat?
I have no idea. I'm just looking into finding like a quality.
Trick or Treat. Do the Trick or Treat one.
I think that's what I was looking at.
It's the bigger
that's
one.
the best one yet.
And then they also have the dagger. So like you can get that too. The
Nice.
Kandarian dagger. The Kandarian dagger.
Kandarian. I almost said
Yeah.
Carpathian.
The thing that I saw, they have this for pre-order that I really want, and I would probably put it right at the entrance of my door here, which you guys can't see. But it's the slaughtered lamb sign from American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
I keep
Nice.
meaning to send that to you, Luke. I know it's only $75, which I know is a lot, but like
Does it hang out like in
it
the
does.
movie?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Dude,
It does. It
that's
hangs. It's
amazing.
everything. Yep. That's what sold me. It wasn't one of those ones that you can just throw up on a wall. It literally
Yeah,
hangs, and I'm like,
that's
oh,
awesome.
dude. I don't know
love
if
that.
it's made of
That
wood, then it's so worth it. But
That's one of my favorite movies of werewolves. I think just
It's
the
so
whole
good.
opening of it and then the transformation is just insane. It's insane.
I don't
Yeah.
just consider that one of the greatest werewolf movies of all time. I consider that one of the greatest movies of all time,
It
personally.
is
amazing.
really good.
I mean,
From-
obviously, like the transformation sequence is one of the best examples of practical effects
But,
you will
like,
find.
What Alex was saying there, like Luke and I have talked about this ad nauseum, just alone, is just the whole opening, like just being like 15 minutes of just dialogue between these two characters,
Yeah,
and they're so likable, they're so relatable, and it just makes you fucking feel it
yeah,
when Jack dies, and you're just like, oh my god.
yeah. I mean,
Like-
werewolf stuff's my shit too. Like, I even
It's-
like the
yeah,
Wolfman remake.
Really good.
I didn't even hate the Wolfman remake, to be honest with you.
Neither did I.
So
I like the
it's-
Wolfman remake.
It's fun.
The
got a good
unrated
tone
version's
to it.
good too. That's the one that I have.
Gory as shit. It's
Hmm. Yeah, that movie just was. I want to
got a
do
good tone to it. Like visually, it's just like beautiful.
I want to do an essay on that one because
Yeah, me too.
that one is like there was so much behind the scenes drama with that movie.
Yeah.
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 But let's get to some of these real quick, and then we'll
All
hit
right,
it.
see you, Silhouette. Thank
Oh,
you
see,
so
that-
much for supporting. I
Yes,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
This is
I
amazing.
do appreciate you. Thank you. Wasn't there a Blair Witch polish with polish? Jesus. Straight up. Yep. So he's out of there, and then
I remember my dad had the dumbest idea for a Blair Witch parody film. We were out I think we were hiking once, and he was like, "What if we make the Blair What Project, where everyone's just like stoned?" And I was like,
There's
"Yeah."
no
he,
time
like,
loop. They're just high as fuck.
yeah, no, he takes the map like
Getting lost.
He rolls a joint with the map overnight, and he's like, "What? Where?"
they can't get out of the woods.
Yeah,
There you go.
but he can because he smoked the map. So he's got the route
Oh,
in
there
his
you
head.
go. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's in
There
his
you go.
brain.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's how that works.
But he's too
Uh,
stoned to help guide them. This was the whole idea we were coming up with.
I love it. It's a lot of fun. I love fun ideas like that.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Um,
remind me. I'll tell you at the end. One of my ideas for a movie that's like The Omen. It's really funny.
I'm doing the Omen franchise right now. Good time.
The newest
This
Hell
would be a
House is
parody.
my favorite, says Oh Danny Boy. Now, have either of you So Alex, you've
I've
seen
not
Hell
seen
House?
any of them.
I have not seen the newest Hell House because
It's
I
good.
I am the type of person that I need to watch all of them in succession to really get the bang for the buck kind of thing. And I feel like it's a lie to not do that because then but I end up not watching movies like X, Saw X, or whatever the fucking 20th one that
It was
was out.
very good.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the one before it because I didn't even get to.
That one was not very good.
I didn't see Spiral either. So you
Oh,
know, it's
Spiral. That's the only one I haven't seen, actually.
But they're all so intricately connected in all
Yeah, but
these.
they don't
like,
make sense
little-
anime. You can
I
just.
guess you're right, but some of them do. Like, I mean, when I watched like 6 or whatever it was like connected with the third one and then the first one.
My buddy and I are about to watch the entire franchise because the 11th one is coming out.
Oh man,
So we're doing
Yeah.
the whole
It'll be a
thing.
fun time.
Luke
Yeah.
is super excited for that one. He was like the only detractor I know of the new one where he was like it was okay.
Oh, really? I
Uh,
really enjoyed it.
I just felt like it. I was expecting something different. I was like, okay, what are they gonna bring to us?
I just
that-
wanted more John Kramer. Like, it seemed like the most like when it watched it, I was like, why didn't they do this sooner? Just like do a whole thing.
You mean like before Disney put together all these kind of every villain's
Exactly.
actually a hero and
Yeah.
you have that story, and I was like,
No, I just was baffled that it took them so long to do a movie completely focused on John.
Well, to kind of
Anyway.
keep this train moving and wrapping it up,
Yeah.
I do want to say my final piece on this Hell House thing, because we've had a couple comments about it, is if for those who haven't seen it, I watched all of them for the first time, and I will say the first one is great. It's really well done. It's really smart. The ending's a little goofy, but it works once you actually like. I think the best part about it is the scares throughout and how they do it. And I think that the second and third one are fine. I do not like how they kind of tie it all together and how they,
the background.
yeah, they almost over explain it. They almost overdo
exactly
it.
how I felt.
Yeah, it's kind of like I like the mystery angle of it, and that is why I think that Hell House Origins is my second favorite, because it goes back to
Keeps it
being
simple.
very much keeping it simple and just kind of letting the scares be scares. And
I just got an
what I like
anti-vax
about it.
comment on my When Evil Lurks review.
Jesus, there you go.
What?
I'll explain it to you guys after the stream.
They did do a horror movie with shrooms. Yes, God, I remember my friends and I made a parody of Blair Witch in middle school. I think everybody who's into filmmaking has done that at least once. They've all made.
Oh
their
yeah,
own.
I used to make found footage horror movies as a kid all the time.
Yeah.
Hell
We
House
didn't
is
know it was found
definitely.
footage back then.
Oh no, I did.
Hell House is worth a watch, Ryan, for sure. I think give it a shot. A lot of people like the trilogy a lot, but like, yeah, I'm just one of those people. I think like keeping the scares simple was the best way to go. But let's get into this last trailer.
Yes.
Let's pop into this bad boy here.
I am wildly excited for this movie, by the way.
Oh yeah. Even
It
after
does look good.
even after Neon Copy struck us, I'm still super duper excited. So
Still
I
never
can't
beat
deny.
those strikes on my Halloween ends.
Did they
and
really
Krampus
strike you?
videos.
yeah, I'll explain that here at the end.
Okay.
But
Oh, they striked you.
yes, they gave us a full strike. I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was flirting with the devil there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Luke was kind enough to just kind of let me roll with it, and it
Well-
seemed like it was working out for at least a
I
week.
can see the fire in his eyes now.
Oh yeah, I have a whole shrine. Them just like pissed off at Dylan.
Yeah.
I think about it every night. Just
He
pure
beats me
disdain.
up.
Look at how cool this trailer is already.
I
There's
know.
so much sick imagery. I'm so intrigued. It's so beautifully shot.
Micah
It
Monroe,
Look at that shot, man.
I know.
The shadow is so creepy.
Yeah, the director of photography in this is amazing.
Oh my
Like-
god.
Micah Monroe too. I mean, like, she's been one of those actresses that like she just should stay in independent horror, because like I still haven't seen Watcher, but Luke has literally said nothing but good things about that movie,
It's tremendous.
and it's like I do want to watch it before I see this. Isn't that the same director?
Oh, you know,
Oz
I'm,
Perkins?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is the same director as. Okay, so the guy who wrote and directed this is the guy who wrote "I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House."
yes.
You ever seen that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't love that movie.
Yeah, it's. I remember everybody was super pumped about that.
I think that
like,
leaned too far
mainstream.
into like art house, where I was just like, "This is just boring now."
Yeah,
but,
but
this
Oz-
looks really good.
Yeah, and I mean they're really doing it well. Like I think Alex made the comment earlier about the marketing campaign for Neon. They have really been stepping up their game with this
They're
shit.
doing a very good job.
But you got to remember, he also did the Black Coat's Daughter, which
That's
if
what I
you
was going
guys
to say.
haven't seen,
That was a good movie.
that was very good. Yeah,
It's definitely up in the air if everybody likes it, but you know, it definitely showed a lot of promise. That's for anybody.
absolutely. And then I don't know. I've heard mixed things about Hansel and Gretel. I heard that it would have been better if it was R-rated instead of PG-13. Can you guys? Has anybody seen that one from 2020? It was
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was-
a pandemic movie.
I was
It
just
was
reading
very
about that.
slow, not for everybody.
Okay.
It does have some unease in there, and it definitely is creepy. Just in the whole witch thing, you know, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I thought it was a decent film.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm all for this. I think like I've been into this. This was another one just like how we kind of started everything. by talking with this. Like, this was another one that Luke and I covered on the Sunday Scaries when it was like, just getting announced and they were just putting the cast together. Because like, I'll pretty much at this point, I'll give anything with Nicolas Cage a chance.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he's such a. Even if I know the movie's going to be shit, like I will still like check it out.
There
Just
are no shit
because,
Nick
like,
Cage movies. Let's be very clear about that right now.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Bad Lieutenant Protocol?
Dylan.
It's
What?
a good movie.
It's like, okay. But like, yeah, no, dude, like he's earned that. Like just with like films like Mandy and Pig alone, and then like obviously his entire history being in like some of the biggest movies from the 90s, early 2000s.
Did you see Unbearable Weight
Unbearable
of
Weight?
Massive Talent, the one he did with Pedro
No,
Pascal?
I have not. I
Dude.
know. I watched like 10 minutes of it, and I meant to get back to it.
It's so good.
I love that.
Yeah,
everybody-
man, this is fucking.
Did you watch it, Alex?
Oh yeah, I did.
Man, that
It's
scene
good.
when they're on
It's a good
acid is
movie.
one of the funniest things I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that was a lot. Everybody uses that as the meme too. Cause
Yeah, it was so good.
Pedro Pascal and him did a really good job. They're such an odd couple too.
And it
Mhm.
worked so perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean, Pedro is he's killing it everywhere right now. That dude's just on fire.
My little bro wrecked my mom's kitchen while making little weird film projects. I think everybody's done that.
I destroyed an entire like ceiling height shelf of precious items at my grandmother's house during
Jesus
one
Christ.
once. I knocked it over by accident. It was like handmade things from like 50 years ago.
my grandmother's
Fucked it
grandmother made this. They're
Yeah.
priceless.
They're priceless heirlooms.
Yeah. It was bad.
Oh
It was
my
really
God.
bad.
That's awful.
So we see that. Did you see that right there? By the way, Nine
go back.
Circles of Hell. That's,
yes, yeah.
So excited for this one.
I'm curious if this is leaning into some sort of what the
Love
fuck
Leopard
is it?
Starter.
Dante's Inferno style. They're descending into hell, or
I at least believe that the serial killer probably believes that to some
right.
degree.
I wonder if it's going to be like Nicolas Cage is the serial killer. He
Mhm.
believes in it, and then starts roping people into it, and then or something. I don't know. It's hard to say because you don't see anything, and you can't see anything. You just see people going crazy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even if you watch they play some of them, those little snippets that they were playing, like when they were teasing it out for the last couple weeks. Like the one I know I covered it. I think it was the third one. I did a short on it where they're like in a church or something, and the dude's like pacing back and forth, and then you see the priest like kind of walking back, and the dude hits him with an axe. Like it's one of those ones where it's like clearly it's something religious. Like I mean, even with this imagery here, like it
There's
would
also
not surprise
the
me.
cows. Did you see the cows or some sort of cattle? Like it's a brief snip, but it's like it looked like someone with an axe, and then
Yeah.
there's dead animals in the background, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Hey,
This
last
like
time there was some
visually,
livestock
this
and an
reminds me a
axe.
lot of
It's
Dark
my
and the
favorite movie
Wicked.
of the year. So
Fair point. Yeah, it does look like that.
First of all, snowy horror is always a way to just like win me over because it's so good and there's not enough of it.
can I ask, like, everybody here has seen Prisoners, right?
I don't know.
Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. Are you hiding because you haven't seen Prisoners? Well, you should do better, you bitch. All right. Anyway, I guess I can't relate, but Luke will know what I'm saying here. I get major Prisoners vibes
No, I have
from
not.
this trailer. The cinematography and everything is very similar to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's right in line with that. You know, like we talked about Cuckoo, where it's like you don't see that much in terms of they don't give you a lot. And here, they're not necessarily giving you a lot, but they're building so much tension in this thing. And you kind of know what to expect when you're going into it. And, you know, I think it's rare where a film, I think, you know, you can get it with like Fincher and things, but where it's hard to give a trailer so much gravitas. And I think like each shot is so meaningful in this thing where it gets you more and more excited, and the color palette is just, you know, off the chain for me. So it's like I definitely get Prisoners vibes. I get anything David Fincher, and it's you know, all lining up because it's
Maybe
that's
even
all.
Hereditary.
Dude, Cynthia definitely hit the ball on the head or nail on the head here. Like, it feels like a creepypasta about a supernatural serial killer. Like that definitely is where I would put this. It does feel like an old, like the imagery feels like an old internet story.
Yeah,
Like that, it would just be something like that.
I'm very excited. This is a
Long
10.
Legs looks fun. Have you guys seen this Out of Darkness film? Luke and I just covered that. We saw it at Fantastic Fest when it was called The Origin, and then we just recovered it because that review didn't do very well. I think like it just wasn't on many people's radars. So we got an opportunity to see it again on a screener. So we just did a little discussion video. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous film. Loved that movie. Not quite what I think the trailer sells it as, but definitely a recommend in my book. I think you two should definitely check it out.
Cool.
I think would you agree with me, Luke, that that's probably a safe bet for them?
Yeah, it's not like, don't go into it expecting like straight horror. There's some gory moments. There's a great visual effect in there when you see it. You know what I'm talking about. And visually, again, like Dylan said, absolutely beautiful. There's some shots and there's a lot of landscape in that thing, and to know that it is a smaller budgeted film and what they're able to accomplish, I think you'll have a whole appreciation for it going in from that lens.
Right.
When you say that, though, is it kind of like boring?
No, it's not boring.
The way you make like you said, there's not a lot of horror in it. It's not.
No, there's tension. It's not going to be like, you're not going in for a straight horror film.
It's tough to say without really spoiling it,
right? No,
and I don't want to spoil too much because, like, I think what Luke's trying to say, if I can articulate it a little, I would say that the film leads you to believe that it's about one thing, and then it turns out to be something else.
It's and if you like that ending, it's good.
Yes. If you're on board with it, when the shoe drops, if you're on board with it, you're on board with it. If you're not, you're not. I think you two would very much get on board with it because I think that you guys will appreciate it for the boldness of what they do. You think that's safe to say?
I mean, like for me, I still struggle with the ending because I would have preferred going into what I would have wanted as opposed to what we did get. But I can still stand back and say, wow, this film is so well done. And I think you guys can come in there. You may not like their choice at the end, but I don't know necessarily. I think it would affect your grading of how horror it is, if that makes any sense. But you know, like, but from a film appreciation standpoint, I think you guys would go in there and be like, okay, this is a really well-made film.
I have 2 empty spots on the schedule for the entire year, so maybe I'll put it in one of those.
Maybe.
I don't know if Outwaters on there, so.
Okay. Yeah, no, Outwaters is freaking good. But yeah.
I can't remember when, but.
Definitely worth a watch, Danny Boy, especially just know that there is a switch up and just be prepared because, like I said, I agree with Luke that there's a part of I'm of two minds with it. There's a part of my brain that's like, I want that movie, but the movie we got, I also love. So it's tough for me to really sit here and say it. It's like, I really feel like now I shouldn't have said anything because like now I feel like there's expectations.
I'm like, you're fine. No, everybody has their own expectations. Even if no matter how hard you try, you're gonna have expectations. It's just the way it is. Even in the middle of the movie, like you know, maybe you didn't see the trailer and it's like this movie's leading you a certain way, and then you know. There's other movies that have done that to me, and then it's a make or break thing at the end. Doesn't mean the movie's bad.
Yeah.
It just means that it might not satiate all of the senses that you were hoping for.
Do you want to know what I think is a perfect example of that for me? And it might get me in trouble.
Oh God, Halloween Ends?
No, I'm not mentioning Halloween Ends. I have no issues loving that movie.
I'm totally kidding. I love you, man.
I love you too, buddy. No, it was I actually found that with Barbarian.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and I think Barbarian's a great movie.
Yeah.
Like I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think the vibe that I was getting into in the first act, I was super into, and then I found that the experience that I had gotten immersed in was just broken.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, it was better because I knew that was coming. But on the first time where I was so into the tone and then it has that huge shift that I wasn't as into, I was like kind of annoyed by it. But it's a great movie. It was literally just my preferences with horror. That
And
I've
see,
heard that from a lot of people. So
I feel like
it's great though. It is great, like objectively.
oh, I'd hope you'd say that it was Luke and I's favorite film of that year. So
Yeah, it's
we'll
a great
kick your
movie.
ass out of here. But
What?
you get mad.
it's one of those movies, man, that just like it exhilarated me when
Mm.
that switch up happened. And like I know I was telling Luke going into that, I had like no excitement going into that movie.
I didn't know a thing about
I
it.
thought that it looked like the trailer made it look like the most generic. It's gonna be some like lab or some cult thing under the floorboards
Mhm.
in the basement. You know, I thought that it was like just gonna be so generic, and it
So
was so far from it.
I had
Like,
only seen the poster. I
that's a
hadn't
good
seen a
it's a
single
great way to
trailer.
go into that movie.
Yeah, it is. But I think because I tend to like not be as into the sort of humor side of horror. Like you guys know who I like. Robert Eggers is my favorite, right? So I like
Right.
when things are a little darker, a little quieter. So that first act was really great, and I can remember. We're not going to talk about Barbarian for the whole time, but when she's going down that flight of stairs, my heart rate was so fucking high. Like I felt so afraid while she was going down there, and that whole sequence was great. And then I was like, oh, Justin Long is singing in his car. All right,
Right.
sure.
I did discover that Donovan song though, so that was a win for me. I love
There
that
you
song
go.
now.
I want to point out that scene in the hallway or whatever, under the ground.
Mm.
One of the things that was most effective is the sound. Definitely.
Yes, 100%.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It's like when you're in a studio.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
that was
you-
a good example of the kind of thing you were talking about, where even halfway through a movie, your own expectations of it. The Witch or The Lighthouse?
Lighthouse for me.
I adore both of them, but I like The Lighthouse more.
I think it's better narrative.
I mean,
Luke, you
it's
go
like
first before
The
I go.
Witch is just such a good vibe, though.
Oh, I'm going Lighthouse. We did a podcast on that way back in the day, and
Here,
I did so
Alex,
much
you'll
research
appreciate
on,
these. One
the
second.
Lighthouse that I can't go against it. Which is great, but performance-wise, I just think Lighthouse is on a different level.
The spook level, I think, in The Witch, though, and that guy's haunting voice is probably one of the most iconic things I've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
That man's voice is
There you
like,
go, buddy.
Yeah.
that makes.
These are
Is
nice.
that what version is that of The Witch?
It's
Those
the
are the
second site
A24.
release. Oh,
Oh,
that's your
Second
own.
Sight put
Second
one out. I
Sight.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing. The
I'm
movie
sure it
looks
is.
ridiculously good in 4K. I haven't watched The Lighthouse yet in 4K.
It's
I'm
good. It's
very,
I mean, the
very
black and white
excited.
the black 4K black and white is
It's the best. And look at the artwork on
some
the
of the
Arrow
best.
Video one. I mean, that's
Mhm.
just
It makes me feel like a
beautiful.
fucking fool for buying this one.
I still really like the artwork on the A24
I
one.
have the Midsummer, like I was saying last time.
Yeah.
Where did this?
Anyway, Robert Eggers is my favorite filmmaker. I love all of his movies. I wish The Northman would get a really fancy release.
Fun fact about Robert Eggers: the movie Yellow Brick Road, he actually did the costume design in.
Did he?
Yeah,
Cool.
when I was
It's
watching
around
the
here somewhere.
extras, they were like, "Yep, that Robert Eggers." Roger,
Wow.
yeah, Robert. Did I say Roger? I don't know what I,
I don't,
said.
you
but-
said something weird. I don't know. Edgar's or
But
something?
Eggers is
Yeah.
in. He's definitely was the
Nosferatu? I hope so.
I'm gonna say just because I didn't answer this yet.
Nosferatu.
It's really hard, but like I do have to agree with you guys there. I think The Lighthouse is probably
We're
my
all in.
preferred.
Yeah.
I think like just the performances in that movie alone, and not to say the performances in The Witch are bad. It's like it's kind of like picking between your children between his three films.
Ralph
Honestly.
Ineson, that like
so
scene
good.
when he's on the ground begging God to save his children and he's eating
Mhm.
dirt, that fucking I want to watch The Witch right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, right. Defoe and Pattinson were awesome pairing. A beautiful pairing. Absolutely.
Yeah, Nosferatu is by far my most anticipated movie of the year.
I'm hoping that that's going to be the one that makes me an Eggers like fan,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
I like his stuff. I just
Yeah.
don't love it.
I love like gothic horror is like my favorite. I love creepy slow burns. I love things that are hella stylized. So all of that together, it's like Eggers is just like obviously he's gonna be my favorite. I love the historical stuff in his movies too. They're so meticulously crafted. Like the set design in The Witch and the costume design. Have you watched the behind the scenes on that movie,
Mm.
buddy? It is like they
I mean, that's
hand
all I was paying attention to when I was watching his movies
Yeah.
is the set design.
It's absurd. I mean, the lighthouse was shot like 2 hours, maybe a little less than that, away from where I live. So I've been up around there. They tore the lighthouse down, unfortunately.
That was so dumb of them. Why would they do that?
Well, it wasn't up to code.
I
So
don't care. Keep
they
it up.
need an
It would've
actual lighthouse there, man. It's a fishing village.
Yeah.
It's actually not even an island.
Too many farts.
It was just the way they were
been
shooting
too many
it.
farts.
Yeah,
Blew it right out.
yeah. It's Nosferatu is by far my most anticipated movie of the year, and it's the most anticipated I've been for a movie in a very long time.
I will say that Eggers has a really great sense of vibe. His pacing is a little slower sometimes than I just want the story element to be a little bit more engaging. That's really what I just like. I know what he's thinking because it's the same thing David Lynch. He gets really focused on like the little tiny minute things, and like he's like so focused on it that he just forgets everything else, and it's like that is the most amazing thing, and he's going to embrace that thing, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
Because most directors don't do that, and they should take the time to do some of those elements, but I feel like he should also open it up to a little bit more narrative as well.
I think Eggers is just an important filmmaker right now. Like he's doing something so unique.
He's also being given the opportunity to do
Yeah,
something
which is so
unique,
cool. And
which
I
is
mean,
rare.
The Northman did have a fair bit of studio interference with it.
Okay.
Now,
See, I still haven't watched that one yet.
That's
it's
great.
If you want more narrative, you'll like The Northman. Like
You will.
it's
Okay.
much more narrative focused.
But that's also less Eggers in it, though.
Yeah, it's less of that like pure style. Like you can tell that it was a bigger studio, but it's still fantastic. Now, I will say, here's something exciting with Nosferatu. This is the first time in Robert Eggers' career where he has been in post-production and said he's happy with the movie. He is so
Wow.
critical of his own work. He does not like The Witch. He's so disappointed with that movie. He's talked shit about The Lighthouse a bunch. Like he's never happy with
So
his
he's
stuff.
he's in my fucking boat.
Yeah. Yeah, he
He's like,
agrees
I
with
fucking
you.
hate these movies.
So to hear
That's
him
my
say
kinda-
that he's happy with Nosferatu, which has been his passion project for over a decade, is
Yeah.
really exciting.
I would
Yeah.
say if there's any movie that is the most encouraging to hear that he's super happy with it, it is this, because
It's the one he's cared about for the longest.
oh yeah, I remember seeing interviews with him when he was talking about
2015.
when he was talking about when he was being interviewed for The Witch,
Yeah.
and he's like, they're like, oh, what would be your next project? He's like, well, I've been trying to get a Nosferatu movie made for a few years now. I'd really love to. I thought it would never happen.
Oh, same. I mean, we've been hearing
once
about it
the
for...
Northman came out, because like there was a big push after The Lighthouse at A24. A24 wouldn't do it,
Mhm.
and then literally that's why he went to Focus Features.
Focus, yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, there might have been some studio interference for the Northman. I haven't looked into that too deep, but it's one of those things where it's like, obviously it wasn't bad enough for him to step
yeah.
away from them. So yeah.
Well, he said that he knew when he signed on with them that would be happening, because he originally wanted the movie to be in Old Norse.
Oh,
It was
no,
a lot of
can't
like
do that,
really,
buddy.
it was a lot of like really historical stuff that he wanted to do with the Northman. And I
Right.
guess the ending was changed quite a bit as well.
He
But,
knew
like,
compromise was going to have to be
Yeah,
made.
and he accepted that going into it.
It's
but
the
it-
most not Robert Eggers movie, I should say, but it's still fantastic.
It's still Eggers, yeah.
It's still amazing.
It's still amazing.
And by saying, and you're right, by saying that, it's like it's still so much his own movie, but like comparing the three, it is the most like consumable for like a general
by
audience.
far.
Absolutely. It's
The
the
Light-
one that a lot of people will get on board with.
I wonder if The Lighthouse or The Witch is less so, because The Witch is slower paced than The Lighthouse, but The Lighthouse is so fucking weird.
I
I
think
think-
more people would be upset with The Lighthouse, honestly.
Yeah.
Nah, I think more people are more. I think it's more accessible.
Well, that's the thing, like,
Really?
especially because you have Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, I think that more people are probably going to enjoy it. But it's
The
also a pace
performances are
thing.
really good together. You know, like that's the
It is
thing.
also
Yeah.
a pace thing.
It's
And
got like
I mean,
that. What do you call it? The sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Chamber kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, bottle
and I
film.
guess part of it too, and this is true for both of his movies. It's really fucking hard to know what anyone's saying a lot of the time. Like every time I rewatch either The Witch or The Lighthouse, I'm still picking up on different lines that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that they said that before.
You gotta watch
Or
with
I'll-
subtitles.
I'll even be picking up on new plot points because I'm like, I didn't hear them say that the first time.
I get a lot more of that with The Witch. The Witch.
I think it was only last year that I rewatched The Witch and I realized that the dad had sold off the mother's cup.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I got that
watched
the first time. I thought that was one of the easier pieces.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so into the vibe of it. It was
Okay.
last year that I was like, "Oh, that's what happened." Okay,
Have
cool.
you seen Hagazusa?
Nope.
I don't think so. I don't.
You might
I
want
haven't
to check
seen-
that out. You might get some of the same vibes from that. It's
These are my babies.
the German, I think, flick
I feel you.
where they keep bones in the house back in the day.
Okay.
Mm.
They would make bowls out of the heads and stuff, like
Jesus.
stuff like that.
What is this called?
Hagazusa?
All right.
You
I
guys,
can
I think
spell that.
Evan would definitely love it.
Yeah, he's a pretentious bastard. He'll love it.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I enjoyed it.
I found it
I'm
here.
just
Yeah,
fucking-
2017.
Yeah.
This looks cool. I mean, I was saying earlier, snowy horror. I forgot
there
we
you
were
go.
still live.
Yeah, no, I was about to say if you guys want to wrap it up here soon, my son will be home shortly.
Yeah,
so.
I probably do need to because
I'm sorry we didn't get to play any of the game.
we'll
Good
do
night,
it
guys.
next time.
Oh,
I
that's
have to
fine.
wake up early
I
and
did
finish editing
genuinely
my
get
My Bloody
caught up in the
Valentine thing.
combos, and I think that's we'll
This is the whole point.
if we do this for a game, we have to just do the game.
We
Like
have
that-
to just start with the game. Because I
Otherwise,
remember
we'll
the
never
initial
get to
plan. The plan for this stream was we're gonna chat trailers for 15 minutes
15,
and then
20
we're gonna
minutes.
play. And we've been
Hour
just
and 40
talking for
minutes
almost
later,
2
we
hours.
finished the trailers. Why'd
Why'd
you
you
spill
your beans?
Yep, that's if there are still some tattoos I want to get on, like I want to get before I die, and one of them is I want to get "Why'd you spill your beans" with a seagull.
I've
you know,
I've
next
thought
to it.
about just getting the actual lighthouse itself, like on my wrist or something. I really, really just want to watch both of these movies right now, and I hate that I have to go to bed because I have to edit My Bloody Valentine review tomorrow.
Oh, we just did that too. Actually,
The
for
remake,
this
not the
week.
original.
Oh, oof.
I did the
Yeah.
original last year.
hey,
Hey, it's got some cool gore, I guess.
listen,
It's so fucking
Luke and I,
bland.
we're on the other side of that coin with y'all. We're gonna defend My Bloody Valentine, the remake, and it's because of our boy. You want to take it away there, Luke? You haven't said anything in a minute.
Tom Atkins.
Yep. All
Okay,
counts.
that's the one thing that I mentioned
That-
is that at least Tom Atkins is in it. But, and here's the
Yeah.
issue, and I mention it, he doesn't have sex with one person who's of a questionable age gap to him.
Okay, so that's the winner
On
for
screen, I'm sure on set,
Well, that's the thing. Like, obviously,
Silver
it's.
Fox, let's be honest.
Yes,
dude. All bets are off.
I mean, if you're gonna have Tom Atkins and you're not gonna have him
Have
slaying,
sex with people.
what the fuck are you doing?
We
I don't
didn't
know if I wanna
sleep with
see-
anybody
He's
in
pretty
Night of
old
the
in
Creeps.
fucking that remake, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's up there. Oh yeah, I loved Hagazusa.
It's great if
you
you've
have
got
to
some
have some
CBD.
CBD to meditate on it. I love that.
Do I have
Um,
anything here?
Have a bunch of folks who are passionate about horror movies. Kind of hard to keep conversation. Yeah, I know. It's
kind of
Yeah.
the wing of the
wishful,
game, though, right?
it's
When
wishful
you-
thinking on my part
Yeah.
when I was like 15, 20 minutes.
But at least, hey, we learned. We learned that we are incapable of keeping it to that length.
Shit,
Yeah.
Luke
So-
and I can't even keep a video. We just recently started keeping videos under 15 minutes sometimes. And our Predator video was still 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's doing pretty good though. People are liking it, so I'm not I'm not upset about it. Even though I will say we would have kept it relatively good, but
Yeah.
we just did like a
Um,
whole 10-minute like Carl Weathers like remembering thing at the end of that because that was
Right.
unfortunate.
To anyone here who might have watched the Sinister video, thank you. By the way, it's my 1 out of 10. It's doing very well right now, so thank you. If anyone in the stream has watched that, appreciate it.
I watched it. It was good.
Thanks, buddy.
It was mid.
It was,
No, I'm kidding. That
it was
was
all right.
I really enjoyed that one. I liked a lot of your
Video.
takes on that. It was a fun video. And then Luke or Alex, I haven't watched this one yet, but I'm going to. What's up with that horror tower Blu-ray thing. That's been circling
Oh,
my
yeah, I
subscription
wish more
feed.
people would see that because it's like it's literally what I'm going to be doing over the next I don't know how long. Yeah, so a very amazing person who just randomly enjoys what I do donated an insane amount of things to me. I document some of them, about 75% of the things. Uh, but they just went wild and I'm blown away. Like if you want to just there's stuff in there that is so rare. I'm just blown away, man. Like it
Is
is
it a
crazy.
collection or is it literally he just made a tower of
No,
movies?
he hand selected every single piece.
Jesus, I do want to see. Like, I was
I
already
got 4
interested.
boxes in the mail that were like the size I could fit in the
Damn.
box.
See,
And
like,
each of them were wrapped in a different tape, a different color tape. Each of them had a piece of a puzzle of another gift that was to be put into one gift by the end of it. And like it was the most thoughtful thing anybody's ever done for me. And I've had some really great people, including Ryan, who's been in here, who's done nothing. He was very supportive of the channel too. So I feel very fortunate. I know I'm talking a lot about it, but
you're good, brother.
I don't know how to. I don't even know how to like. I don't even know how to act. Like I don't deserve. I don't feel like any. I don't deserve that shit. You know what I
No,
mean?
dude,
Like
you've been working hard on this shit for a long time, so you definitely deserve to have your come ups here, because like
I guess, man. I don't. I
that's
just that's
insane.
It
amazing.
never feels like it. I
It's
remember
weird.
when I was like 15, I used to make like gaming videos,
Hmm.
and I was playing Life is Strange, and I finished the first one, and I didn't have a job, so I was like, sorry, I can't play the second one, and one of the viewers just gifted it to me on Steam. Like those kinds of things, like it never feels.
That's
It's
yeah.
like, what do you say?
Well, it's just hard because you don't expect it. You know what I mean? It's not
No,
like I threw up the Amazon wish list thinking, oh hey, maybe someone will put up a movie like that way they can get something that they want me to
add to it,
review or
yeah.
and I was just like, I'll just get the distribution companies to send me stuff and yeah, so
Yeah,
but yeah.
we haven't experienced anything like that yet, but like
Oh, you
also
will.
we're not like we haven't put any of our stuff out there yet, like really. And the first time I enabled super chats and super thanks was when we did our stream last week, and that was
Yeah.
just because like the Merkins had recommended that we do that, and like
Yeah.
a
I just
couple
got
other channels,
my first two today.
and we did that because
Yeah.
like it was
That was
just
great.
we just had to, we haven't gone down that path yet, because like I feel like, at least in my mind, and I know Luke probably feels the same way, it's just like I just don't think we've hit that spot yet where it's like I feel bad charging people for content. Like that's why we don't have memberships yet, because I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
feel
I
like
know.
we
I
can't
also haven't
dedicate
set that
enough.
stuff up yet. Like,
We can't dedicate enough time to give people extra stuff yet, and I don't want to do that until we can. That's why we don't have a Patreon either,
yep.
because I
I
want to be
don't
able
like
to
dealing
give
with that
stuff to
shit,
the,
dude.
yeah, I want to be able to give more content. I want to be
I
able
don't
to
have
give more
time to
stuff.
make
That's
extra
what I'm
content for
saying.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
like
Yeah, like I just
if
can't.
you're especially if you're like one or two people, it's like, if I had an editor,
Mhm.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
And it's like
like
it's like right now, like the AdSense for us, even though it isn't anything crazy, is like a gift in and of itself that we're at least making something off of these.
sure.
And like
Oh yeah.
it's really, at the end of the day, it's like I think I'm more happy when a video does well and gets more views and more engagement and we can talk to people than I am the AdSense going up, which it's like
Easily.
that's a bonus, but like we're still so early in the game where it's like I'm not like worried about that shit. I'm worried about just like I hope people are enjoying what we're doing. And I
Just
think that there's a pureness to that I want to keep, because like
don't forget that don't get caught up in trends.
mhm.
Like it's a good thing to do, I think. You do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I just personally for me, if I were to take out the element of doing things that I like and it would just become a job and then I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that. So,
Yeah. I was talking about to Dylan about this the other night, where like I'm only doing one video a week, right?
it's a good
But
video, Cynthia.
so Oh, thank you, Cynthia. By the
Yeah,
way.
and I was gonna say I wanted to shout out Cynthia here too
Yeah.
because that makes me feel
Yeah,
really
that's-
good that
that's wonderful.
we
I'm
were
really glad
able
to
to
hear
cheer
that.
you up because like
Yes.
that's what we're here for. That's
Yeah.
what the whole YouTube thing is, and it's like it feels good to
Yeah.
just
Hanging
be
out
able to
with our
hang out
friends.
Yeah.
and
And
talk
thank
some
you for
horror.
watching the Sinister video.
Seriously, thanks for sticking with us too.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for checking out Evan's Sinister video. I'm really
Yeah.
happy that one's blowing up for you, bud, because
It's doing well.
that was one of those ones where that was not on our purview as far as podcast episodes last year, but like I watched it on a whim, and it was my pick for the month because that was when Luke and I were alternating picks.
Sorry, did you only see it for the first time last year?
No. I saw it
Oh.
when it came out. I rented it, and then I hadn't rewatched it because I thought it was just okay. Then I wasn't big on it,
Really?
but then I watched it again before the Black Phone came out, and I was like, "Wow, this movie is way better than I remember." And I remember Luke being like, "I don't know,"
Yeah.
and then you threw it on, and Luke thought the same thing. The only thing we weren't crazy about, and if you listen to our podcast, you feel the energy in the room drop as soon as we start talking about the ending because it's like it just feels so rushed. It feels so rushed. Like
I don't know. I kind of love how sudden it feels. I
I did
understand
admire
like
that in your video,
yeah,
but
the I need to do Exorcism of Emily Rose. Maybe I'll throw that into.
I've
one
never
of the
seen it. I
movies
want to
watch.
though.
I think
It's
somebody
Scott
needs.
Derrickson, so
That
You-
to me is the best exorcism movie that's not The Exorcist.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't have to like compare.
That's fine. Well, keep in mind, I'm also writing my video script for the Exorcist Believer review right now, so my bar is fairly low. But
You're going
Exorcism
to
of
end up
Emily
doing
Rose is-
once you see the best video that was ever made. It happened a few months ago, and you'll probably want to do a deep dive, like probably like a 3-chapter, 3-video on Creatures from the Abyss.
Okay.
oh yeah,
I hope what we did was funny because
it's trust me, I've gotten through. I want to say I'm about 60% of the way into that. That's one of those ones that like it's so Splattercast Cinema, Evan, is something that we're trying to do. Honestly, I might just say screw Splattercast Cinema and what that project we're kind of working on that we haven't announced yet, guys. I think maybe we just do that here. And maybe that could be like a Patreon thing or a members only thing. Because like that would be, we can't really like do that live. Because we can't like do the movie. We'll have to talk about that off air. But
yeah,
once we won't touch that until I post Creatures of the Abyss because that fucking movie is
sorry, I was just
insane.
teasing you. By the
No,
way.
I know. I'm still because I haven't gotten to talk about that with anybody but Luke since we saw it, and like and you a little bit, but like yeah, Evan,
It's
that's
one of the best so bad it's good films ever made, in my opinion.
That would be one that would be great if we did take that idea and bring it over to this, and then we did like a few for like maybe a year or two, like give us 2 years of separation, and then we come back to it just so Evan can experience it for the first time because that movie is fucking wild.
Okay.
So
okay, I do have to go.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
I have to
Well,
peace out.
I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Love
Thank
the
you for coming.
Sinister video, and love me some legit horror.
This has
nerds.
been
We love you
fantastic. I've
too.
really enjoyed this.
We appreciate you, and I am gonna end the stream. So thank you.
All right.
Just so you guys know, anybody in the chat that's still around, we're trying to do this bi-weekly, so we won't be here next Monday. We're planning for the following Monday. So we will see you guys then. All right. Good night.
See ya.
Let me see.